Jeff, is that you?
It is me. Hey, Ron.
Wow, a long time no see.
Long time
We're
no
running
see.
late because I forgot to hit the go button. We're live. We're actually live, but I forgot. I was trying to put this poll together, so there's a poll there, and we could talk about that kind of stuff today. And what started me on this path was Don. Don sent me a messenger message earlier today. It was a photograph, and I got to get that up if I can, of his flatmate's tank. And what looks really cool, it looks like it's actually a corner tank. And yesterday I was talking about, we were looking at a tank. And I don't remember if it was in my or Jeff's stream during the day yesterday or you streamed last night. And in the back of the, we were looking at Blackwater Aquatics. So it was last night.
Yeah.
And I saw what looked like a piece of lucky bamboo in the back of a tank. And Don sent me this very cool picture. Please. Oh, it is there. Now I just got to get it to show up here. So give me a couple minutes and I'll be working on that while we're doing this kind of stuff. Let me go Dropbox it and open Dropbox on my computer because they're just not automatically there anymore. And give it a minute to go find itself. And then I'll bring it up. It was kind of cool. I got a lot of photos. Or do I? No, just 4. So anyway, yeah. So that's what started this whole thing about, do you care? Planted tanks, artificial decorations. What was the other one? No plants, no decorations, or just plants and no critters. And that's kind of what we came at. Critters being fish or shrimp or whatever else. So
I chose planted tanks myself.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would also do the last one.
Oh, plants only?
Like a big farm tank, just doing plants, you know. I mean,
right. And that's I've got a couple tanks like that are pretty much farm tanks. And I use pots, right? The terracotta pots. The picture is here. Let me just pull it up, make sure I can bring it up in photos. Oh, wait, what did I do with it? There it is. All right, close this folder. And I think I can, oh my God, that's really spectacular. Is that a piranha in there or a pacu? Here it comes. Okay, I think I get to share it this time.
Oh, yep.
There. Oh, wait, that's us. Uh-oh.
Hey, guys. Cool. Talking to ourselves in the fourth person.
Yeah, what was that? Who was that said that in was that the Three Stooges? What a maroon. There we go. I clicked on the wrong. There it is.
Ooh,
I'm going to go all image. What one do I click?
L-shaped tank.
No, not that. Hang on. Let me, there it is.
That does look like a pacu.
And okay, the topic originally, when Don sent me the message this morning, was these lucky bamboos growing in plant baskets in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you find a corner? That's a custom-made tank, I'm guessing. That's very, very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Tell your flatmate, Don, that is one cool aquarium.
It is a cool aquarium.
And we said so, and we know what we're talking about.
He's got some African cichlids in there, too. I see the dragon blood up there.
Yeah. Oh, up here?
Yep, right there's the dragon blood. And then he's got some yellow, electric yellows. And
I can bring this in a little closer because I can.
He's got a blue dolphin. He's got a
blue dolphin here.
Yep, blue dolphin there. And then over there, the big one with the spots, that's called a Venustus.
Back here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like another smaller pacu over there on the right. Is that a pacu or what is that?
On the right. Well, there's these two dark ones.
Yeah,
here.
that one right there. The one on the left. Yeah, that one right there. That kind of looks like the shape of a.
Yeah, I don't think so. They look like a cichlid of some sort. They almost look like peacocks or whatever they would be.
Okay.
So I've still got a lot to learn about fishing. And then there's this guy here.
Wow, he's a whopper, isn't he?
Yeah, they all are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice tank.
It is a nice tank.
Yeah, Don, thanks. I really appreciate this.
Oh, that's a tinfoil barb.
Oh, this guy here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. They
You know what?
get,
You're right. It is. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
wow. Thanks, Mike. Cool.
And not up with all the fish, but one of them is a giraffe. Yeah, that's the Venustus. It's called the giraffe cichlid.
Okay, interesting.
The one with the pattern on it. And Mike is in the house. Hey, Mike, good to see you.
So is Uncle Smiley
Yes.
and Branton and Jody. I'm going backwards up the chat. Jody.
Chris is here. Hey, Chris.
Sarah, how are you?
Chris Stubbs and David's Aquatics.
Oh, very cool. Yep. Cheryl, hello. Don, thanks.
Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew.
And then
Night Owl. That's Drew.
yes. I haven't seen Drew in a while. Jorge, howdy. Yeah, I'm going backwards up the chat in StreamYard. So as opposed to, yeah, it'd still be up the chat in YouTube too, wouldn't it? Oh, Muppet929, howdy. Lurking and making dinner. Enjoy dinner. Have fun making it. I like to cook. I like to barbecue too and have it in a while. So, oh, hey, Garage Aquatics is here. And so is some guy named Jeff Pelham.
Yeah, hey. What's he doing here?
I don't know, but welcome.
I'm glad to be here, though. I know that.
Well, cool.
Absolutely.
Well, so how y'all? And I hope everybody's doing well. And like that. And the Fish Fam link is here. Yay. And
hey, nice.
Chris, howdy. And that's where, yeah, back to the bottom here. And Drew, hello. And Michael, I think I said hello. I'm going to close this down now.
And Cece, hello, Cece, and Lance.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Wow, very cool. And there's a poll there. It looks like Planet Tanks is just winning right off the bat. So, cool. What did I do?
I just see a black screen right now. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I do the best I can with what I've got. So,
oh, you're doing great. You're great. You do fantastic, Ron.
So like that. So yeah. So okay. So plants. I don't know. We've been talking about plants. I got some really cool plants. I got some, and I'm gonna drop some names here real quick. I got some really nice corkscrew Valsinaria from Jody P. Thank you for that. They're doing really well. And
those are beautiful too.
I planted a few. Most of them are still floating in this tank. They're fine. I've found that Jungle Val will grow just about as well floating as it will planted. That stuff is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had that other smaller Jungle Val in that little plastic dish that I'd gotten. They look like some sort of a dwarf val that I got from the local fish shop guy when I brought in all those fancy guppies to him. Or mutt guppies, whatever you want to call them. And he gave me these short valves. They're straight leaf. They're doing really well in that little tray now. They're finally starting to come into their own. So I'll be able to spread those out once figured out. Maybe I can send you back some there, Jody. Hey, Jose. And then also I got some Blixa japonica from Stephen P. And Stephen's not here yet, and I bet he will be later, but those are doing really well also. I ordered those twice, at least twice, and they just came melted. You know, a lot of people can't ship plants to save their backsides on eBay, and they probably shouldn't because it's just not fair to the buyers. And I let it go each time. I got one of them from Etsy, as bad. But I've also gotten a lot of other plants on eBay that were really good. I got those, what were they? They were like a corkscrew type Echinodoros, the sword plants. The Venustus, I think. Echinodoros Venustus, I think is what it is. And they Vesuvius? Okay. Not well described and really kind of disappointing. Hey, David. Really kind of disappointing. You know, you really got to be careful. I got some stuff from, I think it was Canton Aquatics once upon a time, and I swore I'd never go back. And then recently I went back and ordered from them. And hey, Scotty. And
Hey, Scotty.
I got, God, what was it? The dwarf chain. It's not a dwarf chain sword. It's dwarf chain. I'd have to go look. I actually started putting little plant tags, little plastic plant tags like you use in the nursery, and I wrote on them with a pencil, stuck those in the little pots, and just submerged the little pots, and sort of shuffled them into the sand. All that's in that tank is about an inch of pool sand, and just sort of shuffled them into that, and they're actually spreading across the sand. I've tried to grow those before, and I couldn't get them to go for nothing. So this time they're actually going. And then what else did I get? I got some Juncus. I think it's Juncus repens. It's a sedge, and it's not doing well. All my plants came from Canada. Yeah. I just had a bad experience that first time, Mike. But the last batch seems to be doing well. And I'm not sure if I got that Juncus from them or not. It's not doing great. It's really melting out. I've had it for about 3 months now. It's just been on a slow decline.
Contortionist type or type B?
Well, you got me, Cece.
I think is the contortionist the one that's the spiral, right? Or
yeah, it would be spiral, and so the valve is it is corkscrew valve. I'm not sure what the species is. In some plants, it's spiralis.
Does that do the same thing as the regular veil, Ron? Does it do the runners and different plants? Do you know?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah. The stuff Jody gave me, it was just a chain of connected plants. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yes, it does. And once I get it going nuts and established, I'll shoot you some. Unless Jody beats me to it, but yeah. And I owe you big time, Jody. Those were just so nice. Yeah. And so I don't know, I buy a lot of plants on eBay, and I've had mostly pretty good success. I remember I said I wanted that, and I can't remember the name of that now. I'd have to go back and look. Go with the flow.
Richard, welcome.
Yeah, hey Richard. And Gil suggested a plant, and I could probably tell you what it was. He goes, it looks enough like the Blixa japonica to, let's see, buy again.
Oh, I see. She says the veil contortionist type is a tighter spirals. Type B is a looser spiral.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so honestly, I don't know. Let's see. Can I come up with a couple minutes to talk about? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hang on, Don. You got your messenger handy? I could put it in the chat. We know everybody here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in the chat. So I got Cryptocorin lucens. That might have been a little pot of that. That might have been from Canton. It was the one that looked a lot like Blixa. I'm going to put it in the. Let me share that. Kind of a cool looking plant, and it's doing pretty well. It is Ariel Collin Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Wait, okay, that's not working. Oh, maybe it is.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, it looks like a bunching grass type. There's Don.
That's really cool.
I got him.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him. Let me get this out of the way.
Don?
Hang on, let me
Hello.
stop. There you are. How you doing, Don? Thanks for that.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you as always. Right now, my flatmate's tank, the one I sent you the picture of.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a cichlid tank. He's got that one tinfoil barb.
Right.
We've got a problem with nitrates here in our tap water. So our water supplier says that we've got 37.5 nitrates parts per million coming out.
Wow, that's high. Yeah.
That's quite high. So
I think that's
I haven't-
illegal here, having it that high, I believe.
it's the legal limit, I think, is 45 in
Yeah, it
Europe.
depends where you are, Jeff.
Oh,
20
okay.
here is the legal limit. Yeah.
So I had a chat with him and I said, well, you could put some plants in the tank. But obviously cichlids are going to eat the plants and stuff like
Right.
that. So he got these little baskets. They're, I don't know, about 3 inches deep.
Right.
And he got the pothos, and they threw in some lucky bamboo.
Oh, nice.
So, the pothos, he's had them in the tank for about 6 months, and the pothos have doubled in size, and they're doing quite well. The lucky bamboo, they gave him 5 pieces of lucky bamboo, and there's 3 in the tank, and then we keep 2 in a vase or vase, in a windowsill.
Sure.
And the thing that I've noticed about the lucky bamboo in the vase is that we have to change the water every week because it gets like a very waxy film on the top of the water. Okay, now if you feel the stem of a lucky bamboo, it feels waxy anyhow. So I think that it's depositing some sort of wax.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
in the water. So what he does is he rotates them out because the cichlids will eat the roots of the plants that are coming through the baskets. So we do a rotation. So we pick, when he does a water change, he'll take one out of the tank, he'll move the other 2, stick it in the vase,
Right.
and move one out.
Right.
So that's one thing to be aware of, is that there will be waxy excrement, for lack of a better term.
Brant and Sam put some snails in the vase.
Sorry?
Brant and Sam put some snails in the vase. Snails. You know, if you got ram's horns or something like that, drop some of those in the vase.
No.
No.
No. We like snails about as much as you do, Ron.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So there you go, Brant. You know,
we like snails in Ron's tanks.
wait, I like them in yours or Jeff's.
I like them in mine. I'm pro snail.
So are the baskets, were they 3D printed that he got from somebody on like eBay or something like that?
He bought them off of Amazon, 3 for, well, I think he got 5 because he gave me 2.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So he got them off Amazon.
And they're plastic.
They're probably not big enough for the job. They should be deeper and so forth.
Right.
But I don't think the bamboo is an active enough plant that it's going to have much effect on the nitrate.
Sure.
But the pothos is bringing it down. Now, my other bugbear with nitrates and test kits and who do you believe as to what your parameters really are is when I bought my tank, I bought my tank secondhand, and it came with an API test kit, and it's still in date. Now, our water supplier swears up and down that our average nitrate in the tap water is 37.5.
Wow.
Year in and year out. When I use the API test kit, it comes back at 80 to 100 parts per million.
Holy mackerel.
Wow.
Now, I've got my tank over here. The lights are out. You can't really see much of it, but I've got loads of algae you can see. I've got loads of algae because I've got the shrimp.
Yeah.
I like the algae. I've got Neocaridina and I've got Amano shrimp.
Right.
And I've got Otocinclus and I've got black neons. That's all that's in the tank.
I love those. Black neons are beautiful.
They're skittish, but they're so much fun to watch when they eat. And when I do the decapsulated brine shrimp and I stick that in a few drops at a time, they just go absolutely berserk for it.
Nice. Yeah.
Absolutely berserk. And they're so much fun to watch. And it's like I said in a post on one of your lives a couple of weeks, not just a couple of days ago, that I'd rather have a 40-gallon tank with hundreds of nanofish than
I remember that
300-gallon tank.
I agree.
A Beischer and
I
don't know, an Oscar or something like that. It's just, they're boring.
Yeah. And then I think I went on to say I'd love that 100-gallon tank full of nanofish. Bigger and lots of little stuff, a lot of interest, schooling fish and shoaling fish.
Yeah, so much interaction and activity and stuff like that. Anyhow, long story short, his nitrates are coming down,
Hey, Skipper.
and we both put that down to the pothos because the
Right.
pothos are growing like gangbusters.
Right.
So I'm not a plant expert. I'm just saying this is what we've noticed in the water conditions we've got.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
other thing is, if there's anybody watching the video that's about to start out in fish keeping, set goals for your tank. But before you set goals for your tank, test your tap water. Understand what parameters your tap water is putting out, and figure out what's realistic.
Yeah. What will work for your
Don't chase
situation?
parameters around. You try to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Good advice.
So you don't need to chase the pH and the KH and the GH and all of that nonsense.
Right.
And then set goals for your tank once you understand what those
Right.
parameters are, what you're
Right.
dealing with, what your raw ingredients are.
Right.
All right?
Yep. Very cool.
Okay, I'll bow out now, and I'll watch the rest of the chat, and thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
You come back sometime where we can hang out longer.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind me drinking a little bit of beer while we're doing it, I'm
No, I
okay
don't
with
care. Do you care? Jeff?
You don't mind me drinking a little bit of coffee while we do.
Coffee?
it.
Cheers, cheers, guys.
Coffee.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
late for coffee.
I'm going to back up the chat because I saw a comment from Cece.
Yes.
She said it was regarding that plant that Eric Cullen, species Vietnam, pain in the bum. What, trying to keep it alive, Cece, or trying to not have it take over? That's what I got for you there. Into the future, welcome in.
Jonathan's here. Jonathan Colvin. Hey.
Yeah, and Brian, welcome. Yeah, the art crew, we're here. Let's
Tropicals.
see.
Hey, TK.
So anyway, see if you got an answer for hey, TK. And let me back up there. She had a comment about Lucky Bamboo here. Yeah, I guess that, it's not a bamboo. Yeah, of course not.
Oh, it's like a snake plant. Cuticle and helps protect.
Well, now snake plants are not, wait, did they change snake plants? That was Sansevieria. The Sansevieria trichastica. Say it again, Don.
Mother-in-law's tongue is what I was.
Yeah, mother-in-law's tongue or snake plant. There's several. I've got four different ones out here. One is called Sansevieria cylindrica, and I think it's called devil's tongue. And the leaves are round, come 3-4 feet long, come to a point. So you got to be careful when you're bending down around it so you don't put an eye out. But also very cool. Waxy substance is cuticle wax, helps protect plant. Yep. But also in some case, shipped plants are covered in wax. They do that with cucumbers too. They actually dip them in a wax that also has a pesticide or a fungicide mix. Well, a fungicide is pesticide mixed into the wax to keep them from rotting, to get bacterial soft rot or a fungal soft rot, and also from insects.
Well.
Huh?
And apples as well.
Yes. Yeah, I bought some apples in Kingman, Arizona one time and went to wash them, and they turned absolutely white, whatever was on them, and it was really hard to get off. I think I just threw them away.
That's a weird thing about apples, Ron.
Yeah.
If you buy an apple from the grocery store and you pour boiling water over the apple, it'll turn white because they've been waxed.
Oh, interesting.
That's why you always polish an apple on your shirt before you eat it. Get the wax off the
Right.
apple on your shirt.
Yeah, just wear it off, kind of rub it off.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's a pretty plant, this Ericulon. So yeah, and I don't have CO2 anywhere. I use that, that liquid carbon. So whatever that's worth. Hi, Zenny.
Hey, there's Zenny. Hello.
Wait, so they reclassified snake plants and a few others to Dracaena a few years ago. Wow. So when I was still teaching, They were Sansevieria, so that's been 8 years ago now. And one of the books I used kind of as a textbook was the Sunset Western Garden book. It's like a almost encyclopedia. Well, it is encyclopedia-like. That's pretty much what we used, the most recent one every time. So, but stuff changed online.
Brandon had a question about the African cichlids and the jaguar, how they get along. He says, can either of you please ask and thank you?
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Brent.
He was wondering about that. I've kept them. I mean, they will. I mean, they're aggressive fish. They will. Face off, but.
So Don, you got an answer for that?
Sorry.
Let me go find Brent's question. Here we go. Yep. How does
the jaguar cichlid and the Africans get along?
There's a little bit of aggression in the tank. It's not been too bad recently. He's put another 4 or 5 fish in about, I don't know, 2 months ago.
Okay.
So he's on sort of that cusp of becoming overstocked.
Right.
And they all seem to be getting along okay.
That's why they're getting along. If you overstock, you'll have less aggression.
Yeah.
He does a water change once a week. I do a water change on mine because it doesn't need it about once a month, and it's only 10% of my tank. He'll do about a 30% water change once a week. And when he does, he turns all of his stones over and stuff like that. And he's very hands in to the tank, and I'm very hands out of the tank.
Yeah.
I don't have my hands in my tank more than once a week.
Right.
Because of the neocaridinus, and I don't want to, introduce things that are going to put them at risk, because I'm still trying to get the tank to the point that they become stable. They are reproducing now, and I've got 2 of my Amanos are females, and they're both buried now.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing very well.
Yeah.
I've just got to figure out if and how and when I can manage to pull them out and try to breed them along and stuff like that. Because to me that'd be a very interesting thing to do.
Yes.
Now, so Dan, my flatmate, he does a water change once a week. He turns all the stonework over because he's got quite bright lights in the tank just to show off the fish. Obviously, because there's cichlids in the tank, the plants are fake.
Right.
So he doesn't need all that lighting, but he wants the lighting.
Sure.
Trying to keep the algae down and stuff like that. Yeah. So he resets the territories every time he does a water change, just to confuse the fish and try to keep the aggression down quite low. So long story short, Brampton, there's a little bit of aggression, but it's not been as bad for the last probably 6 months as it was a few years ago when he had somebody help me out here. What was it called? What was the name of that fish? Oh, I'll think of it in a minute. But he had one cichlid that looked a lot like the giraffe, but it was something different. Livingstoniani. There's a Livingstoniani.
Livingstoniani, yeah.
And one day something flipped in that Livingstoniani's head, and he just shredded everything else in the tank.
Oh, no kidding!
They can be
absolute mayhem. I think he finally hit his sexual maturity, and he felt the joys of spring, and couldn't find a girlfriend, and took it out on everybody else in the tank, and just to shreds.
Wow.
Which is why I don't do cichlids. I don't want to spend that much money on the tank inhabitants just to have something like that happen overnight.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a peaceful tank full of skittish fish that just have their own personalities, and little tiny creepy crawly shrimp, prawns, or whatever you want to call them, crawling around.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about anything except temperature and not sticking my hands in the tank every day.
Yeah, cool.
There's all kinds of cichlids. You can get some more peaceful types like Crubensis and stuff like that. They're good. They're like a good alternative. You can have the personality without so much aggression.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true, Ron. And or sorry, Jeff, I go back to when I was living in the States, and back in the 80s, and I keep hearing you talking about Crebenses and convict cichlids. And those were the two cichlids that I would keep in my show tank. I had a 55-gallon show tank in my living room, and I had, there's a 40 long below it, or 40-gallon below it. I had a 40 and a 55 in my bedroom, and I had a 20 long in my bathroom, and another one in the kitchen, and then about 25 or 23 tanks in the basement.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. And in my show tank, I had a pair of convicts and I had a pair of Crebenses. And they used to breed like convicts and Crebenses do.
Right.
But what makes me giggle is back then I could siphon the fry out and take them down into the basement and stick them in a 10-gallon tank, because I had a line of tanks with cinder blocks and planks, just 10s and 20s and 40s and 55s. And I put the fry in the smaller tanks, and as they matured, they grew. I just moved them down the line. And they were all glass bottom tanks, and they had sponge filters in them, nothing else. And they had no plants or anything like that. They had no lighting. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And when they got to the 55-gallon tank and they become about 3/4 of an inch long, I put them in a bucket and take them down to the local pet shop and sell them. And the local pet shop was quite happy to buy Crebenses and convicts from me once a month.
Wow.
Because back in the 80s, there was a market for Crebenses and a market for even convict cichlids.
I made a small fortune off my pink convicts back in the 70s.
When people these days talk about trying to get rid of convict cichlids, I just sort of laugh, saying, well, I made quite a bit of money back then.
Yeah. The market's changed.
I'll never get rid of my convicts.
Yeah, the market has really changed. So, I have a mono shrimp, and I took a buried female out a couple times, put her in a 5-gallon, let her drop, and then took her back and put her in the tank she came from. And then I tried to increase the salinity, kind of like they're getting washed to sea, and it didn't work for me either time. So I really, hope you can figure it out. I would love to be able to raise a monos from zoes, I think is what they are. Once they're dropped, they're called zoe, Z-O-E. And they look like little, they're almost plankton-like. They sort of remind me of when you see a electro micrograph of a virus, that's kind of what they look like, just a little bitty. And there's a cloud of them, but then they just sort of, dwindle. I couldn't keep going. So I tried to suck up the last. I had a 1-gallon jar with adult brine shrimp in it that were just reproducing. So I tried to suck up the last and put them in there, and I thought maybe they'll, be able to see. Yeah, it might have been too late, or too much of a shock in the salinity change. I don't know. I'll give it another shot down the road, though. It's kind of fun.
Right. I can see Branton's question: how does a jag get along with something else?
Yeah.
And Brenton, I don't know a jag from a Land Rover, so I can't help you out there. Those are my flatmates fish. I'm not into cichlids, so I don't know what a jag is. Sorry.
That's the Parachromis. That's the one with the spots. It has spots on the body, and it's probably one of the more aggressive fish in there.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
They call them jaguars because of the spot pattern on them.
I always thought big barbs were aggressive, but I guess not, huh? That was a tinfoil barb. I remember now. The local fish shop when I was a kid had a tank full of those big tinfoil barbs. They're spectacular.
He's a big softie. He's a big softie. I'll tell you this one, because he had a pair when I moved into this apartment 10 years ago. It's been 10 years ago this month.
Wow.
I moved into this flat. He had a common pleco that just passed about, I don't know, a month ago.
Yeah.
And he was over a foot long.
Yeah.
Big ugly thing. But he just stopped eating. His belly was all sucked in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he had the 2 tinfoils. He had a couple of jelly beans, a really big one and a very small one. And then he had that Livingstoni. And these labs that he just can't get rid of those.
Right.
And I'll get back to keeping fish simple in those yellow labs. I'll try to remember to come back to that. But no, the Livingstoni, he, like I said, just flipped and went berserk one day.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but that's the nature of the fish. Anyhow, keeping fish simple. and the bloodworm, the great
Yes.
bloodworm scandal of 2025, right?
Yes.
It's called Bloodworm Gate or whatever you will.
Bloodworm Gate. I like that. Yeah.
So he put the video out. Oh,
Yes.
bloodworms killed my $1,500 pleco.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Livingstone tends to be like in Lake Malawi. They're kind of top of the hierarchy. They're used to being the boss pretty much. So you got to a certain point. It's like, okay, it's my turn now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I think he just basically his dangly bits. His marriage tackle dropped one day, and he decided to look for a girlfriend and couldn't find one and took it out on everybody else.
So if you're a Star Trek fan, it reminds me of Spock going through his Pon farr. You know, if he doesn't mate, he's going to kill something. So. Anyway, yeah.
I remember that one. That was great.
Spot on.
Back to Nick. So
back to Nick.
Yeah, back to Nick. I don't set out to criticize anybody for the way that they keep fish.
Yeah.
But when they put themselves up as an expert and say, this is my expert opinion, and he takes his bloodworm, feeds it frozen bulk to a plec, and the plec dies, you can't blame it on the bloodworm.
Yeah.
You got to blame it on yourself. And then he got called out by a few other YouTubers.
Right. A lot of people.
Actually, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And so he came back with another video saying, okay, maybe I was wrong on a couple of points.
Yeah, saw that.
But he also said in that same video that you can only overfeed your fish to the point of killing them on bloodworms. You can't do it on flake food. You can't do it on pellets. You can't do it on chips.
And you probably can't do it on his green cuisine or whatever the other one is. Yeah.
Bug buffet.
Bug buffet, yes.
Right? Now, this gets back to my point with all the yellow labs that used to be in this tank, because my flatmate, when I first moved in, used to take the cap off of the food pot, and then shake the food pot into the water. And that's my other tip to any fish keeper is never ever do that.
Right.
If you can't stand touching the food, you then shake the food into the lid to make sure that you got the right amount.
Yeah.
And tip the lid into the tank, or you reach your fingers in and you grab the amount that you would.
Yeah.
And put that in the tank.
Because
you
it's
never
so
shake
easy to
straight from.
You
never shake it straight from the pot into the tank, because one day you're going to have one of those.
You flinch and end up half the can.
And that's what he did. And the next morning he said, oh, I'm just overfed. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. Next morning, woke up to find 17 dead, overfed
labs. Oh my God.
At the bottom of the tank.
Oh, wow. I think I would immediately have tried to.
Now you understand why I don't trust that so-called expert in his feeding.
Yeah. No, I get that. I know, and I will blow his cover there. Jose feels the same way about the bloodworms, and I don't know if it's about. I think it's about the potential for parasites. Now I remember that one time Paul Stingray was in the chat, and he was saying all the bloodworms that come into Australia are irradiated. So if that's the case, that should kill off any parasites. That's my thought anyway. I don't know enough about that. I'm just guessing that food grade irradiation should make them safe, even for fish. So, but that, again, I'm just guessing. So, but I understand.
If you're willing to risk your fish by believing that without doing any further research, and there's very little research available on YouTube,
right?
And good luck. Then good luck to you.
Right. I've been using the frozen bloodworms since I started back in this. Well, you've heard me say that in the last few streams. The Lunchbox brand from PetSmart. I've been since I got back into this about 2 years ago. When have been 2 years ago, January. So I've been using them ever since. Those and the little frozen brine shrimp cubes. And the one thing I will say about the frozen brine shrimp cubes is there are a lot of just like stuff in those, so it really almost clouds the water. But fish they eat them.
Back in the 80s when I was feeding frozen food to my fish, I'd always break off a bit, let it thaw out, stick it in the net, Yeah, take a sheet or little
Yeah.
ice cube trays or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Take off what you want, stick it in a net, and I'd run it under the kitchen tap
Oh, that's a good idea.
just to give it a rinse and make sure
Yeah.
that it was thawed out before you put it in the tank.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't worried about that. Sometimes I'll just drop the cubes in and they start to disperse, or I'll stick my fingers in the tank and just sort with the cube and just sort of run them around and let them disperse out that way, both the worms and the shrimp.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good idea. There'd be less crud coming out of the brine shrimp that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. And I know Jeff said he had problems with the sheets of frozen brine shrimp years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time I fed them to my cichlids, they would get parasites and stop eating. And every time it was I'm not trying to bash on them, but it was San Francisco Bay brand, those big flat sheets.
Yeah.
They get the worst parasites every time I fed it to them.
Interesting.
And I was thinking, well, maybe it's just something else going on. But
right.
as time went on, you see the pattern. Okay, every time you feed it to them, they get sick. It takes them a long time to recover. And then, they
so I know if frozen foods thaw and are refrozen, and maybe a couple times, I guess they can become essentially toxic to people. So I'm wondering if those sheets, that like they thaw during shipment and freeze and thaw and freeze a couple times, and maybe that's what was going on. The fish actually got food poisoning.
That's why you buy local as you possibly can, whether it's fish or food or anything like that. Yeah.
Of course, that kind of stuff shipped in from somewhere, though. It's certainly not made here in the desert.
Yeah, but is it kept, as you say, to temperature throughout the entire journey? And I'm guessing probably not. And are you sticking rotten, fetid, festering stuff in your tank?
Yes.
And paying a premium for it and thinking you're doing the right thing for your fish? Because it might make you feel good spending lots of money buying this, so-called fresh frozen food, but what are you doing to your fish? Stop and think about it.
Yeah. And after I think you were in the chat on Ed Moat's stream Monday night, would you? Yeah. And that was kind of one of my takeaways. I don't feed enough. And then back and forth with Branton too, I believe about, I don't remember where maybe more dry food and less of the frozen stuff, the quality dry food.
I think it's less protein and more vegetable matter.
Well, there's that.
We all feed too much protein, which is why we get the big turds hanging off the back of our fish.
Yeah.
And as Ed said, they shouldn't be there.
No,
and they start looking like kites. You fed them too much.
Yeah.
Is that
I just on a walk today found a bed of stinging nettles that I'm going to go and harvest tomorrow. And I'm going to take my nitrile gloves down and put those on so I don't get stung myself.
Yeah.
Clip those up and put them in a plastic bag, bring them back and blanch them, stick them in the freezer. And I can feed my shrimp off of that.
All right. Yeah.
Yesterday, I can feed my shrimp off of that for the next year.
Yeah. Right.
Brilliant.
I get banana leaves from my chiropractor. And then, so he brings them to me green. I just keep them until they turn brown and crispy. And then I'll just walk outside the door here. We've got a tree that drops, winter leaves. Yeah. And I will,
nice.
There you go. Yeah. And I'll just grab a handful of leaves, rinse them off and drop them right in the tank with the shrimp. So I know some people just cringe about that, but I don't boil them. All I do is rinse them under hot water just to clean off, the dirt, mostly the soil. So
I've got a neighbor who lives about a 5-minute walk away.
Yeah.
And they've got a banana tree in their front yard. And I've been walking past this banana tree for 10 years. And then I found out recently, you can use banana leaves.
Yeah.
And they produce a biofilm and they feed your shrimp, and especially baby shrimp and stuff like that. So I'm walking down the road about 2 weeks ago, and I walked into the village to pick something up, and I came back down, and I'm walking down the road, and I see an Indian couple, or they had dark skin and they didn't speak my language and I didn't speak their language. I'm guessing they were Indian or Pakistani or something.
Sure.
Okay. and they're out there with crosscut saws trying to trim down this banana tree. And I'm trying to ask them, I said, can I have a leaf from your banana tree?
Right.
No, it go, they say. So obviously a language barrier.
Yes.
And I had to do my best to talk them out of that one banana leaf. And thank God, I walked past the other day and they haven't cut the entire tree down, because what I took away from the conversation was they were cutting the entire tree down. And there goes my source of banana leaves.
Right.
Not glad to find out
salient.
they were just trimming it back for the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have an ongoing supply of bananas.
Yeah. Before we moved here to the desert, I had 2 big clumps of bananas, and they would produce just big things of bananas. I didn't realize I lived in the banana belt at the time, but I do miss that.
Hey, Big Steve.
And then my chiropractor lives, I'm more in the central part of the Coachella Valley, and he's over at the Palm Springs end, so he's pretty close to the mountains. But he's got, I don't know, half a dozen varieties, I guess. So, I shoot him a text before we go in twice a week, and he gets out in the yard before, brings them all to me, and I just let them dry. So, and I told him, I think I'm going to probably sell them as botanicals too, if you don't have a problem with that. He goes, I don't care. I'll bring them all, all I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
They're cheap to ship.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I also use the bird of paradise leaves, the Strelitzia. They're similar, different species, but as long as they're clean and if people want to boil them or whatever, that's fine. But I don't. I just and the banana, they get soft and they build that biofilm quickly, and then the shrimp just and I've got a bunch in this tank behind me with the Royal Farluella, the Royal Whiptails, and they love that as well. They just went nuts over that, the banana leaves, and also the leaf litter from outside. So, and then I was watching one of Gil's videos. He was out in his yard. There's a tree there he's got in his yard. Brachychiton is the genus, and he was picking up the seed pods. Well, they're all over the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I went out. I grabbed some seed pods. My neighbor's got a bunch. I'm waiting for them that I can find it. Actually go ask them if I can. I've got a pole pruner and take big clump of them out of their tree and the ones on the ground. I don't want to just do it without asking, but it's kind of trespassing, and so.
You might be doing them a service, you're cleaning.
Well, if I can ask them to do it, I don't want to trespass, That's.
Well, you could always ask. I mean, it's not too obtrusive to say, "Hey, would you like me to clean these up because I use them for such and such?" And they might say yes or no. That's okay.
I use them in my aquarium, so if you don't mind, can I help myself? Yeah. So, and I go around the neighborhood and probably get grocery bags full, and then I'll figure out how to package them and put them on eBay. So
there you go. That's what I was about to say. That you should do that. That'd be great.
Yeah. So anyway, Scotty here, some Bucephalandra metallic blue. That sounds pretty. And last night, we were at Blackwater Aquatics, and they've got some Bucephalandra. They've got one, this massive, called Dark Skeleton King. That's they've got Booce.
That's an epiphyte plant. Is it that the right word? The ones that don't.
Yeah, I think they're marginal.
Oh.
I think they're a marginal plant. They'll grow, close to the water's edge, and so come and go depending on the water level, but I'm not certain. And CC, we covered that. That snake plant's been reclassified to Dracaena. I want to go through the list and kind of, let's see.
Rheophytes. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Hello. The poll is near unanimous.
Somebody
Stephen.
just call us a neophyte.
Rheophyte.
Most African breeds, super easy, great color, but boring as you know what. And
yeah, they are. I mean, they're so easy to breed.
Wait, Sarah's
I don't mind being more
here.
I prefer other fish.
Realize how often I say anyway. So you put that in your new title. That's cool. Anyway Aquatics. Yeah, anyway. I do too, when I'm doing a live video. And I use Camtasia. I'll go through and take out as many ums and uhs and anyways. And there's other ends, Yeah. I feel you there.
Anyway, Sarah, you're fine.
Yeah. So, anyways,
You're doing great, dear. You're doing great.
keep them coming. Yeah.
She's so nice.
That's just funny. I'm doing well. Yep. What's this? I did give it a Google and it says snake plants got, I believe you. I absolutely believe you. You know, having taught horticulture and plant identification for almost 20 years, I can't tell you how many times the same plant would get reclassified. The one called queen palm, it was, I think it was Cocos, the genus Cocos. So related, you know, same genus as the coconut. And then it was, I've lost track. I know one of them was Cyagrus, and I think there was a third one in there. It's job security for the taxonomists. Those are the ones that, you know, they keep going. My jewels have bred and are being nightmare sick. All right, well, yeah, something about Novi like a dog until, yeah. And it was what, everybody else in the tank was the chew toy? Let's see, made a lot of money 15 years ago breeding, Africans. I guess like we were saying earlier, they you know, things come and go in favor all the time. We see that with everything. Oh, goody, that sounds like, okay, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this because Nick's food. Okay, Brant likes Nick's food, the bag stuff, the dry stuff. And that's what, Bug Buffet and Green Cuisine. And I think Jody just got some of that too.
Little Melvin.
And who was it? Ed Moats is working on some food himself. And I think it was a lower protein, vegetable-based food.
Yeah.
June's here. Hey, June. She had
Yes.
tinfoil barbs once upon a time, it looks like. Fast, yeah. Lightning, grease lightning.
I've always liked the looks of those. They're so shiny.
Yeah.
I used to see him
I'm
at
gonna
Pet
climb
Smart
down.
in Costco.
I'm gonna climb down and let you two get on with your show. All right.
Hey, well, thanks for being
Thanks,
here
Dan.
with us.
Thanks for being up
good
here with
company.
us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me
Absolutely.
up. Always
It's a
enjoy
treat.
it.
Thank
You
you.
are welcome and always a pleasure. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Carry
Yes,
on
sir.
watching.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank
Cool,
you.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
Zenny, I like bananas or banana leaves. I like bananas too. I don't eat too many. They're too full of sugar. You're supposed to eat them before they're really ripe, but I don't really, they're too astringent for me. What? Jeff, Sarah, 75 gallon, but now Shelly's going into a 40. Okay, cool.
The 40 get right over here. You guys want to know over here, Sarah, and that 40 on the end there.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of those cichlids are out. I got some more escargot shells, and they're going to go in there, and I'm going to put some Anubias in there
Yep.
on that rock. So that's going to look pretty cool.
I agree.
Good
Clickbait.
morning, Craig.
Yeah. And I think some of the people that, I don't know, there's a lot of, I don't know, I see a lot of that even because he is part of this, the fish keeping. But yeah, I try to avoid a lot of clickbait, and I try not to do that myself when I put videos up. I don't defrost the cubes. Well, you know, you got bigger fish than I do, June. So yeah, I don't defrost the cubes. A lot of times I'll just sort of, you know, like I was showing earlier, I'll hold on to the cubes in my fingers and just sort of run them through the water, and it spreads them out that way and everybody gets some. I don't do that in my crevensis tank because I don't want to lose fingers. Because they come up, boom, you know.
Pick it, as it thaws off, they'll just pick it off.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do. I never thought it out. I've never thought them out.
Grain terrors. Yeah.
Red Devils, Tilapia, Budocophori, that right there, the last one.
Yeah.
That's a West African cichlid. They're black with white stripes. And I'll tell you what, they call them they're mean as.
Is that the tilapia they use as a food fish?
I don't know if they eat those or not.
Yeah.
But they're big enough to. I mean, they're big enough to eat. But they'll pretty much. You got to keep them with other aggressive fish of similar size, and you want to really eat.
Right.
Otherwise, they're just going to rule.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you here. Did you drop Nick's link? He's got some really good videos on breeding fish. I will say that. You know, he did. I think he did go a little off the rails with this whole bloodworm thing. But since then, you know, I think it's really spurred me. I want to try and keep and raise blackworms now. And I think they're a better quality food source from what I seem to hear than bloodworms.
I've heard they're about the best you can do.
But again, they're probably what? High protein.
Yep.
So, and that goes back to less protein for a lot of fish. So got to be careful with that part.
As I understand with those, though, if you want to get a female in breeding mode to get her producing eggs, that's the go-to.
Right. Brenton shop. Oh, is that Nick's shop here, Brenton, that you put?
Yeah, Sarah asked Branton to drop the link.
Okay, and that's his store? The store
Yeah.
link? Okay, good. I've been using banana leaves for years.
I'm not sure.
Well, and people use banana leaves to cook in too, right? For tamales.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They'll either be banana leaves or corn husks, and it depends on the region, I think. Jesse, howdy. Just what goddamn hello is doing? I don't know. Not a frickin' clue. My favorite alien sent me some banana leaves. The shrimp loved it. Your favorite alien. Not sure how to take that. But I do like banana leaves. I wish I
know
still.
who that is. That must be Tommy. He's the alien guy. Used to be Silver Creek Aquatics. Remember him?
Okay.
His name's Tommy. He lives in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And he goes by Resident Alien as his new name on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Am I right on that, June? Let me know. I'm pretty. Yeah, Tommy is my favorite alien. Yep, I was right.
I started a message here and I lost it. I'll have to do that later. Somebody asked about, do you plant guppy grass or you let it float? So it's a eBay person.
Mm-hmm.
George, hey.
Yeah, George is here, RB3.
Yes. And Steven's here.
You said today's his favorite day.
And Thursday or just what?
I'm not sure, but Sarah asked him, why is it your favorite day today, George?
Oh, I see that. Today's one of his favorite.
Is it his birthday? Is it your birthday?
Today's my unbirthday.
Yeah, that's right. We go a day younger every day until we get to our birthday, then we kind of like catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there's 3G Greg. Hey, Greg, how you doing, my friend?
I didn't answer the poll. I do all the yeah, and that's fine. And that's one I should have. But it only lets you do 5 or 4, and 6 would have been good because all of the above and none of the above would have been 2 appropriate ones too. My wife tried stealing that. Okay. Genteel reminder, please hit like for Ton.
So we got our.
I think you mean Ron, huh?
We got Louisiana's being represented. We got Stephen P. and 3G in here.
Yes, Sportsman's Paradise. That's I think the state motto. The Sportsman's Paradise.
I'm sorry about that. I hit the wrong. I misspelled that. I came back with another one though too. So hopefully I got that.
No, it's all good. Hey, it looks like did I see Melvin's in the house? Howdy, Melvin. Starting to get the hang of all your aliases there, pal.
Oh yeah.
Craig, welcome in.
Pound Swamp Pride?
I'm sorry, what? I am so far behind in the chat.
Oh, this is down near the bottom here. Pepperland Creek Aquatic says Pound Swamp Pride. Not sure.
Oh, yeah, Swamp Pride. Well, I guess there's a lot of swamps in Louisiana. So hashtag Swamp Pride.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Swampland. Right.
Yeah. And Bayou, and a big lake called Pontchartrain. Hey, Lumpy Dog, we're just making trouble. I thought it was obvious.
Hey, Lumpy Dog, how you doing?
What's this? When you stash that box of plants under our table, sir. Okay, never mind. That's not for me.
They went home with Whip. Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. Yeah, I figured pass. Okay, pass them off in the parking lot. A plant deal. Bloodworms are high in fat, particularly good for conditioning fish to breed. That's good.
Yeah.
I have not noticed any problems with them myself. So I will probably continue to use. They're expensive.
Yeah, conditioning. That's the word I was looking for, Brent.
Yeah, that's a good word, and it's a word I frequently forget when I'm trying to.
I forgot it too.
Yeah. Brent's saying blackworms are high in fat, particularly good for conditioning. Wait, so both, or are you talking about blackworms instead of
blackworms? He says. He says you're supposed to say blackworms on there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jeff, say that again, please.
Oh, Brent has down here, says, I retracted that, Ron. Was supposed to say
okay, good. Got it, thanks. Okay, it still shows up. I'm going through the StreamYard chat, so it doesn't go away there.
Oh, okay.
It stays in the StreamYard chat. Hi, Greg. How are you? Okay, scroll fast. On birthday parties for my kids. Oh yeah, I wish somebody would throw me in on a birthday party. I was fine with fake plants. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's true. And it's some of the newer ones. And I think you can go to like Michael's or Hobby Lobby and buy those silk ones now, the fake silk ones that look really real. And then all you got to do is take them off once in a while, hose them off, get the algae or whatever off, and then drop them back in the tank.
I mean, they have their place. I mean, if people have African cichlids, they want to just have plants, and I mean that's the way to go. I mean, because they will eat everything else, but if you want the look of plants, they'll still get the beneficial bacteria on the plastic plants too. So it's not like they're completely. I mean, I like live plants better, of course, but they're not totally worthless.
Right.
They have their place in some tanks.
Well, and I know some people just don't want to be bothered with trying to deal with live plants because they're not always that easy. I don't do stem plants well, so I've sort of backed off on that. Don, here is the link for, it's called Blackwater Aquatics. So it is, I don't know, bw.com, I think, or bwaquatics.com. I still can't see the bottom of the chat in StreamYard. Okay, my mates, live got to go. All right, have fun there, Craig. Thanks for stopping.
We have Southwest Florida Aquatics. See there, Swiffle.
Swiffle. Anubias. Yeah, Anubias can be, I've had them do really well and some that didn't. So I'm guessing it was a tank for tank basis with me. In the house.
Oh, it's Dennis. Okay, his name is Dennis.
Oh, I finally hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So, yay.
He was one. He was breeding those little blue, electric blue rams.
Oh, Swiffle.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them.
Nice.
How are those?
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, it is free. Costs you nothing.
Yes,
and
that's right.
It makes YouTube think more highly of me because I don't know. I know it's a shameless plug, but you know what? Damn it, thanks. We appreciate you.
I want to see here what the ratio is because.
Yeah, he's done some interesting stuff. Nick, Joy. Oh no, that's never mind. Two different. Keeping Fish Simple. I'm just getting them confused here. Yeah, Jose, Joy of Fish Keeping. And Nick, Keeping Fish Simple, did some cool stuff on spawning bettas recently. Let's see. Let's go find Joy.
Well,
and if you want to see what I think is one of the nicest discus tanks is
Jose.
You want to check out this channel that I'm going to post right now. Oh, damn it. That's not what I wanted to do.
You want me to post it? I got it. Right.
I've got it here. I pasted the link instead of copying it.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been copying and pasting all morning. I've got an eBay store and I was going through about 75 different listings trying to clean them up and get a little more uniformity going. So the link in the chat is Jose's Joy of Fish Keeping. And if you want to see some
I think we're looking for a stunning discus.
stunning, yes. And just cause, oh my gosh.
If you turn to the next, it's getting known Anyway Aquatics. Ah,
And there is Sketty Nona Anyway Aquatics. There's a live, that should be a live link.
oh wow.
So, and Sarah, I am hanging my head, dear. I was not subscribed, but I am now. Oh, I like that angelfish. That's a nice tank with a smaller discus in it. Looks like younger discus and a lot. What are they? Harlequin rasboras. Nice.
Unacceptable around, Brent says. Unacceptable.
I am hanging my head.
But the deed's been done. It's been made up.
It's been rectified.
It's been, yes.
Yeah, all true. So maybe I'm not sure if that's the live link or not. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna repost it.
Damn, this thing won't come clean here.
So this is Sarah's link, and yeah, there's with the underline and all. That should be a hot link.
All right.
Why is computer stuff all about food? We talk. Oh my God, there we go. I just did it. Food.
Food.
Like hot links.
We're doing
and
good though.
and Java and what else? There's a whole bunch more of those, food oriented, that's all computer talk. The only one they didn't do is donuts and what the hell are they called? Ding dongs. But they make like notifications sound like ding dongs.
Well, they got that one Oracle, so it's shaped like a donut.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right. So I've lost track of what we were doing.
Now, Melvin just said Pringles. Now, where did that come from?
Procter and Gamble. Think about that. Procter and Gamble. What do they make? Mostly. What do you think of when you think of Procter and Gamble?
Is it chemicals? No.
Soaps.
Yeah.
Shampoos, toothpaste, and Pringles. Really?
Real? Oh wow. Sarah says, "I better post some content." Yes, you should, Sarah. Do some shorts at least of your tanks. That would be excellent. Swiffle treasure detecting. There's another one. He has a second channel. He gave you another sub.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I wonder if I'm going to check, make sure I'm subscribed to that one. I think I am. Yes, I am. I'm already subscribed to that, the detecting. I'm both of them. Okay. All good there.
All right. So, oh, wait, weren't you here before? This looks kind of familiar. Zenny is a different handle, or? I feel like I am subscribed. So, yes. I will put your link back in the chat. And I think I suggested post some content. Get something up there. So that way the subs hold. Do short.
Select Pet has just joined you, Ron. Here we are.
Who did?
Select Pet.
Oh, cool. Hey, welcome in. And wait, DW's here again?
I was DW. Oh, that's the same. Oh, okay. DW. Zini is DW. Okay.
There we go. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. Cool.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to let go of that now. I was clicking on a few of those there.
All right. And I'll tell you, here's what I did. And just because I know you just are chomping at the bit to find out. Hang on here.
Mm-hmm.
I went into this is, God, how long ago now?
I'm thinking the Select Pet must be John.
Yeah. Let's see. I started my channel on June 1st, 2023. So it's coming up on 2 years now. And it was a day or two before that, I went into my local fish shop, Brandon. This is all Brandon's fault. All right. That's the owner of the local fish shop. He's, yeah, and I've been doing Instagram, you know, posting stuff, shorts, and you should start a YouTube channel. Do shorts. Yeah, all right, whatever. So I went home and I did a short, and the rest is history. So now I've got 396 videos. I guess that's long form and shorts combined. And you know, I just started doing it, and it's fun, and I love the interaction, and I go out of my way to make sure I reply to everybody's comments. I hear some people, oh, don't look at your comments. That's bullshit. You know?
You know what? I fall behind on those. Sometimes I might see something and miss one, like it happened 3 months ago, and I'll go back and I still will comment when as soon as I see them.
Yep, it's easy to do.
Takes
It's
me
really easy to do. And something I learned, that I don't always see all the comments. They disappear. And so I'm going to show you guys something because I care, because I can. Here is my YouTube channel.
Oh, there's Daisy Lamb. Hello there, Daisy.
Hi, Daisy. Let me, I'm going to go the whole screen here for a moment, Jeff.
Sure, no problem.
A little, oh, that doesn't work. I forget. That never, oh, hang on. There we go. I don't think that works in YouTube. It might. I think I was doing it last night, so it should work.
Yeah, you had to go back to, you had to go click on something and go back to something else, and that brought it up.
Right, make it, oh, that was something else. All right, so here's the studio up here, right?
Yeah.
And if you click on community, once you click into your playlist or whatever, not playlist, your what is it called? Let me back out. Let me just back out.
The most popular, most popular ones. Is that what?
Yeah. So click on your videos. And oh, I killed it. All right. So yeah, click on your videos, and then where it says community here, click on community. And sometimes I will see a list of comments here that I did not see come up in notifications. And so I'll start at the bottom, work my way up. And then if you hit the refresh button up at the top of the screen, it'll get the ones that you did just comment to, it'll toss them out. And that way you can see, because the first time I found that, there must have been 20 or 30, and some of them were 7 or 8 months old. So I went through and replied to all of them. I think it's important, you know, it's important for me to do that because, you know, I look at it like you guys matter.
Well, you know, it is. It's like pretty much we're all family pretty much. You got to keep in touch.
Yeah. So if it's, you know, if you've taken the time to comment, and once in a while I'll see something a little snarky and I'll just, you know, I'll come back with something polite, you know. I'll either never see that person again or they'll change their tune, and that's okay, you know. So, but it's, yeah, you know, I just enjoy the hell out of this. So I started with the shorts, and then after that, you know, I started putting up long forms, and I've got an iPhone. So I was using iMovie to edit, and I've had this program called Camtasia for a long time. So I started figuring out how to work with that. So I use Camtasia. I spent, God, I don't know, it was $400 a year for the whole Adobe suite. And it's got that video editor in there that I've got to learn to use because it's got to be way better than Camtasia. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that subject, boys and girls.
You got a nice compliment from Dave. Says, wow, great work, Ron. That's great. Yeah. You're indeed a prepared college professor.
Well, I tried, you know. Thanks. Yep. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's about 4. Well, you know, and I'm not sure if that's still the school discount. I did get a faculty discount on the Adobe suite when I was teaching. And I'm not sure that's not still the same.
Elfish here. Hey, David.
Hey, David, what's up? Yeah.
Hi there.
So that's kind of where, yeah, maybe, you know, it was fun. It was a lot of fun until it wasn't, Daisy. It got to a point where, you know, just, I was done. And I was glad I got out when I did, because I think the whole system went to shit. So, no, not a doctor. Oh, donator? No, who's that? So yeah. So anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents on that whole thing.
Kilometer. Oh,
And they're off.
there they go.
You guys crack me up. I don't know what I'd do without you. I think the people in the chat here are just some of the best people ever. I wish there was a way that we could just all get together somewhere for lunch or something someday. A big picnic.
That would, we're going to try to do that to Clash, hopefully.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking more somewhere centrally located, like Missouri or something. Somewhere more in the middle of the country where it's still easy for everybody to get there.
Like a transporter, like on Star Trek, we could just
Oh,
transport.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, that would be cool.
We're just born a little bit too early, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. So.
Fish fry, that would be good. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. That would be good. Yes.
Fish and chips. Ooh,
yeah. I got a feeling Elon Musk is probably not too far away from having some sort of transporters going on.
Oh, I'm sure he's working on it.
Yeah. How about Kentucky? That would be cool. I like Kentucky. We visited our son and daughter-in-law at Fort Knox, and I know I'm putting the K in there just because it's fun. Was it 2 summers ago? He's in the Army. She's not. She's an Army wife, and he was shipped off to Washington State, the northern part of Washington State, for fire suppression support. He's a Black Hawk helicopter crew chief, so he was flying. They were fighting fires up there, and his wife, she is visually or sight impaired, whatever they call it. She's blind, and so we went and visited her for a couple weeks and had a ball. We visited this one very cool garden. It's it's like a botanical garden, arboretum kind of thing, and I can't remember the name of it. Really beautiful. It's pretty country. It's really pretty country.
Canucks. Oh wow, he says it's wild. Never heard it pronounced. Canucks.
No, I know it's Fort Knox. I really appreciate that, but it's KNOX is what it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you're doing. Canuck. Yeah.
Fort Knox. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So all in good fun. Yeah.
Yep.
Where the alleged gold supply is. We'll see. Maybe someday we'll find out if it's still really there or if it's all on a thumb drive.
UEO's here. UIO? UIO?
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
UEO?
Oh, man.
That's what I got. I don't know. Someday you'll actually, I think you probably already did, but I have a long-term loss of short-term memory. So I probably forgot how to, pronounce that. So.
Mm-hmm. Brent, I'm not trained for this type of support, the support you require. What kind of support? What did I miss here? What did I miss?
Yeah, I'm just going to stay out of this. 2001, 2009. I have, okay, so that was somebody else. Oh, wait. I did live in it's California, damn it, not Cali. Cali's where all the drug cartels in Mexico are. At Camp Pendleton, huh? Hoorah.
Not to be mistaken with Mexicali.
No, he was here. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
He lives in Arizona, so.
Yeah.
2000 Semper Fidelis. Oh wow! So you were a Marine? Is that?
I was a SoCal professor. Yes, I was at a community college. Yeah, and I lived in Westminster, California, and that's part of where the heart of Little Saigon is.
Oh, I see what Jose's saying here. Ron, Jeff, I think Daisy was asking for wrench. Naked equals not blue. That's what she was talking about, being naked.
I don't know what that means. Oh,
it's because being naked without the wrench. That's right.
So yeah, but I'll give you a wrench, and that'll allow you to go click on other people's channels and all kinds of stuff. Don't abuse it.
Yeah. Yes, Daisy is a Marine. Oh wow, that's
what I said. Hoorah!
In Swiffle's army for me.
Oh, really? Yeah, and our son in the army. Right now, he is, I think, in Romania.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're a little concerned about all that. So,
kind of a rough area over there.
um,
Hopefully, things stay contained pretty good.
yeah. And Swiffle, I gave you a wrench, and Melvin also, and I think everybody in here is pretty much wrenched up. So no more naked.
Oh, Ron, can I mention something?
Please.
I got a message from Jonathan. The fish all made it to Kentucky.
Oh, very cool. All alive and well.
The male's the male's bag had sprung a leak, but he's still alive. He put him in the tank, and at first he was a little bit wobbly. He was, staying upright, and now he's saying he's coming around good now. So the females came in perfect.
Right.
Well, now I'm just waiting on Gabriel's fish to arrive and see how they did. Because
all right. Yeah. So what time is it here? It is almost 3:00 here. He should be getting them anytime soon.
Yes, I'm so happy about that. I was worried about it because those are huge. I mean, they were big fish. I mean, I've never seen fish this big.
Well, let's cheat. I'm going to cheat a little bit here.
Okay.
G and C.
Thanks, David.
Aquatics. I am looking at YouTube to see if he's got a live going on with his. Wait, he's live right now. Is live. Oh, that's 7 days ago. Never mind. All right. So.
Oh, you talking about George?
Gabriel.
Oh, Gabriel. Oh, yeah.
I was just seeing if he's got anything like a live going on right now, and he's unboxing fish before he tells you.
He's still at work right now. He's talking about doing a live stream on Thursday nights on a regular basis. So he might be doing one tonight.
Oh, all right. Good to know.
And hopefully, he said that he's going to have his wife keep an eye out for the delivery.
Right.
So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Either way, whatever happens. I mean, if something happens wrong, I will make it right.
Sure. Oh, I know that. And he does too.
Yeah.
And we all do. And who's married?
Yeah.
Joy, laugh out loud. He's married.
Oh.
Hello, Ruben. Who is Ruben?
Ruben. Let's see.
Jose said, hello, Ruben. Who did I miss?
Is that UIO? Is that Ruben? Yes, UIO. Yeah, that's Ruben. Hey, Ruben.
Right.
I worked it out that way. I could be wrong, but
yeah,
I'm pretty good at reading these things. Hey, Ruben, how you doing?
Well, and who was it that somebody is in his Swiffle Dennis? Is that what I heard? No. I know a lot of people like to keep their anonymity up here, and I am absolutely good with that. Oh, he's got question marks, so probably not. Eggnog is unacceptable, Daisy. Should I take a wrench away there, David?
Yeah, take David's wrench away. Please.
Oh, take David's wrench away.
He knows that eggnog rules. Come on, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I am. Okay, that's Ruben.
Oh, really? Very cool. I know.
Thank you, I knew Daisy's nice. Look at that. Eggnog is great at Christmas. You're right.
I'll tell you, my loving wife likes eggnog.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can, I can kind of take
it or leave it, right? You can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I know David likes it, but he just doesn't want to admit it. But it's okay.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah. He didn't want to admit to everybody on the internet that, yeah, Jeff, he knows what he's talking about, but he didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, David. I'm kidding. I know he doesn't like it.
Well, that backfired. Yeah. Nicely done there, sport. Yeah. Did you want to come play with us there, David? Should I put it? Is there? Well, I was going to put a link in the chat. Makes me feel like Sherlock Holmes. Yes, one of my favorite Sherlock Holmes. I've got the Sherlock Holmes DVD series. There's like 80 episodes. Wow.
Ooh, that's nice. What do you have for dinner, David? We have to ask that question.
Excuse me.
I always ask that question to him.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm making nachos tonight because he had nachos the other night, so it made me.
That sounds good. Yeah. Drinking Star. It sounds like we're having salmon on salads tonight.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that works. You
bet.
could probably save yourself what $300-400 a month, Daisy, by making your own damn coffee.
I'm going to take the red eye and get there to have them tacos with you.
Really?
Jump on the red eye.
Yeah, really. Wow.
Ooh.
Shrimp taco. Oh, yeah. Jeff can't eat shrimp.
Nope. It'd be my last supper.
Yeah. Oh my God, $400. Yeah, probably because they are not cheap. And
what is that? What is $400?
Well, she said something about she's drinking Starbucks, and I said you probably spend $400 a month or more on Starbucks. Oh. Think about all you could do with all that 24-hour Mexican. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, and Ruben had tacos as well tonight. Nice.
Yeah, that sounds good. This is not a Taco Thursday now. We changed our.
I could do tacos. Taco Sunday, Taco
Good
Friday.
Tacos, yeah. A Taco Sunday, huh?
Oh, yeah.
With hot fudge? Yeah. Hey. I keep saying there's a place down the street that's got really good fish tacos.
Now, here's a question.
Yes.
Tacos with or without sour cream? Because I definitely like to have a little dollop of sour cream on it.
Depends on the taco.
Huh?
Depends on the taco.
Depends on the taco?
Depends on the taco.
I usually go for the ground beef tacos. Yeah.
There's a Southern California style taco that's got like a cabbage slaw and a chipotle, with a chipotle kind of a smoky little bit of heat in it. And oh man, yeah. And Ruben saying without. Kathy gets these taco salads from the place we go, and it really looks like those big giant tostadas. And she'll usually tell them no sour cream on that. But we put sour cream on chili or avocado
avocados and tacos. Oh yes, avocados and sour cream for me.
Avocados and sour cream go well together.
Avocado, sour cream, onion, and a nice cheddar cheese.
Guppy Fever Mike, welcome in. Yeah, that's a handle I don't recall.
Guppy Fever Mike, hello, welcome in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check the channel.
How you doing? And welcome. Yeah.
14 subscribers, but no content. I'm number 15.
Same thing. Here I go again. Put some content up, damn it.
Yep, I'm number 15.
Yep, I just subscribed. And I am going to put the link in the chat. I'm sure you don't mind. And people will race to the chat and subscribe to your channel.
That's all I eat is.
And you could put shorts up and get yourself going there really quickly. And what do I know?
I'll take the steak, but I can't have the prawns.
Yeah.
Oh, next to base Pendleton. Okay.
November 3rd, 2012. So yeah, okay, I get that. But I like your banner.
Oh wow. Oh, and you love the Seattle Seahawks too. Okay.
Yeah. I am not a TV football or a TV.
I'm not either
at all.
I watched the Super Bowl, and that's about it.
Yeah, Kathy does. I won't. I might, and a lot. We'll go to Super Bowl parties occasionally, and it's like everybody stops and watches the commercials because a lot of times they're fun.
Lots of snacks and food. Oh, I love Super Bowl Sunday.
We'll have a pool, and then everybody eats. Yeah, thanks, Ruben. Yeah. So anyway, not a big fan of.
I'm not a sport. I'm not really big on sport.
Yeah.
I never have been really.
Yeah. Once upon a time, the one sport I used to watch on TV was. Were the fishing channels on whatever it was on cable.
Oh, yeah. It's called Michigan Out of Doors. It was a great show for a long time.
And then I was my sport was really watching the like This Old House and all the fix and flip channels because could actually learn something, make some dough doing it.
I'm not a sport fan either, but it's something to do.
We'll upload some shorts. Yeah, just cause. And then, when you come here, we'll keep stuffing your link in the chat, and hopefully people will go there and give you a sub. Guppy Fever gave you a sub. This is Jose Joy of Fish Keeping.
I did. Jeff Pellins Aquatics did.
Yep, me too. Garage Aquatics.
Be interesting at the end. Oh, David, what did you answer? I don't wonder if David answered the poll question.
Oh.
He might be cooking dinner right now, but I'm not sure if he's still.
Oh,
here.
yeah, really possible. It's,
I'm pretty sure he probably chose the
6 o'clock where you guys are.
Yep.
And Swiffle subbed. Hey, thanks all you guys for doing that. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
My husband has been eating pimento cheese sandwiches because of the golf thing. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have no opinion there is any, DW, on arm wrestling sport.
Miguel Adamski, that's the cage fighting. What is that? The mixed martial arts?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like watching any of that, really.
No. Yeah, I don't like watching people get their ass kicked. I'm just not
exactly. Yeah, it's not a.
Yeah, boxing, never. Just.
Well, we were talking about that last night when somebody was talking about the who was it? Was it George or somebody else talking about the in Thailand they fight their bettas and praying mantises and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, chicken, cockfighting, yeah, it's legal in a lot of places. I got no use for that, so I steer clear of that. So be right back. Got to go.
Like BBS.
Baby brine shrimp. All right.
It reminds me, I got to cook up another batch. I just fed mine out. I got to start it now. I'll be ready in 2 days.
I made a batch. I stuck them in the fridge. They're still there. I haven't fed them out yet. I drop a big load in for the Royal Whiptails. They settle to the bottom and they clean them up, and and then the shrimp will clean them up. And I've got the peppered Cory in there. What are those? Paleatus? Is that Corydora? Is that what they are still?
Corydorus Paleatus? I think so.
Yeah. Oh, good thing about sports shopping is much nicer. Yeah, and so is Disneyland. It tends to be a lot quieter when there's a big sports event on the telly. What would you put in a 20-gallon? Well, I'm going to say, what I used to answer questions like this all the time at school. It depends.
That's right there. If you're catching fish, they're hard.
Yeah, it's like, you must have some likes, maybe, some ideas. And if you don't, wander around a fish shop and see if something catches your eye.
Cecil's here. Cecil Mayberry, hello.
Oh, hi, Cecil. How are you? And wait, Maritime Fish Keeper.
Maritime.
Howdy.
So, what kind of fish do you like?
The cage is lined with concertina wire. Nice touch.
It depends on what if you like cichlids. If you want something it depends on what you like. If you like aggressive fish, you can do stuff, but
I'll tell you can't go wrong with a tank full of neon tetras. If you don't want to mess with aggression, just a tank full of, and some plants, and
What's
then maybe
with cardinal though. Cardinals are a little more.
They're a little more hardy, I guess. But put a lid on because they jump. Or if you got a 20-gallon tank,
I did
after established 4 or 5 months down the line, maybe put some shrimp in it. Intelligent fish, crebensis.
Oh yeah, they would be fun.
If you can get a male and female crebensis. I like platies. They're a tank full of platies. Oh my God. Once they start spawning, you're going to have to find homes for them. You take them back to the fish shop, trade them in for food.
Pistos are intelligent little fish. They're a little bit smaller.
Yeah, get one of those the coconut huts for the Pistos. What else?
What are the kind of? There's the of course we looked at the wild type bettas. They're intelligent and they have personality. I mean, they would be something good in a 20-gallon.
Yeah, get a pair of those. Those you'll have to buy online probably. You probably won't find them.
They're rare. They're more of a rare fish.
Yeah. Unless you got a great fish shop. I'm curious. Who asked that? Was that you?
Ruben.
Yeah. Okay. What part of the world are you in, Ruben?
Convicts are very intelligent. You better believe it. I got convicts. I love them.
Yeah.
They are really great fish.
And this goes back to what Don was saying earlier, and I agree with Don. I like a tank full of small fish. And you know, like small in the UK. Okay, I remember. I think I asked you last time. So I like a tank full of small fish, and then you know it's some angelfish. Geez, angelfish are great. So you know, what about you know, and as the tank progresses, if you have small fish, you can add something like Neocaridina shrimp. You know, and I've got tanks like that with shrimp. In fact, my kitchen tank, it's a 16-gallon tank. And
nice. Yes, rainbow.
And it's got, so what is that? Just short of 60 liters? 16 gallons?
15 gallons, yeah, about that. Because I know 10 gallons, about 40 liters, right?
Okay, all right. So anyway, I started in that tank with 20 neon tetras.
Yeah.
And then I've got 3 auto sinkless. And there are 3 clown plecostomus, the clown plecos, and there are, it started out with 5 albino cories, and now there's 8. And then I added red cherry shrimp Neocaridinas, and then I added a female betta that occasionally picks off one of the shrimp. Clownfish are saltwater, aren't they, Daisy? The clownfish, they're the ones that go in and out of the anemones. These are freshwater tanks we're talking about now. And then also, now I've got 2 female bettas in the tank. And so that's all in a 16-gallon tank. 2 huge clumps of Java fern on top of 2 big chunks of Sirius stone and a piece of Mopani wood stretching across. And would glass catfish, yeah, I don't think they get really big.
You know, another choice for that 20-gallon tank. You can get you can get a colony of shell dwellers. You get a nice rock work in there.
Oh yeah.
You'll have a lot of activity. You'll have fish that will breed and that you can sell, and they keep producing. Yeah. They're really cool. You know, it's kind of a niche, but it's a popular niche. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can do that. That's just an idea.
Right. Now the clowns I'm talking about, Daisy, are clown plecos. And they don't get bigger than about 3 inches.
I love
small plecostomus, and peaceful. And they, I don't know how much algae eating they do. They do like the green beans, and they do like zucchini, and they do like algae wafers. So maybe they do algae eat. And I think they probably also chew on the wood, so they're wood choppers as well.
What are shell dwellers? Ruben's asking.
Oh, well, there you go.
You want to pull some up and show a couple examples of them, Ron?
Give me a genus species or something.
How about just look for let's look for the say gold ocellatus.
OCI.
OCE.
OCE.
LLATUS, I think.
OCELLATUS. Very good.
Yeah. This is one example of them.
Images. So Lamprologus ocellatus.
Yep. That's Perfect. Just one of the species. There's a lot of different species and a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Too complex? Oh, no.
What is?
They get about 1.5 inches long. They're tiny, but I tell you what, these guys right here, pound for pound, they've got a lot of personality and they are beautiful too.
All right. I'm going to have to go about this a different way. Here we go. This is Wikipedia.
Yeah, you're right. The multifasciatus, they're easier.
All right.
The multis.
All right, let's do that.
Varieties of them.
Well, and it's also going to depend on what you can get. And I guess you can mail order, find a local Neolamprolog. So I'm just
Dave's Rare Fish. He specializes in the shellies.
Well, now remember, Yuyo's in the UK.
Oh, UK. Oh, yeah. Yep, Calypterus, that's another one. Calypterus get a little bigger, but they're still cool. The males get about 4 inches. The females stay tiny.
I like this.
It's so interesting because their females stay about the same size as the multifasciatus female, but the males get like this. They were like 4 or 5 inches. And they carry the shells. They'll pile all the shells up for that one female.
There you go.
There's my multis.
These are multifasciata. These are what? Neolamprologus. So these, neo being new, right? These are new Lamprologus, multifasciata.
They're also the smallest cichlid in the world that we know of so far.
Oh, crap. They always do that to me. Here we go. And I'm not seeing any fry. And well, these are probably fry out here once upon a time. Well, they all are once upon a time.
They're probably in the
Those
shells.
are pictures.
There's no sight. Like when you look in there and you see about 4 or 5 little heads pop out of that shell, I tell you when they duck back in, it's cool.
And they're colony breeders, which means if I got it correctly, you can put several together, and as the colony gets bigger, they take care of all the fry. And so if you had a species only tank, what's that, Big Steve?
Hey, Big Steve. Oh no, the Cautoponta kicked the bucket. No new additions.
Out of nowhere.
They laid on the bottom and croaked.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Steve.
And Select Pets saying those new fry from these things be about the size of a grain of sand.
That's right.
So what do you feed the new fry when they come out? What are they just feeding on microbiota that's in the tank?
Crushed up flake food. You can use like the, I have that Ceramicron powder.
Okay.
Just a little bit in there.
Hikari First Bites.
Now, what I do is let's say if this is it right here. What I'll do is I'll just touch my finger in there and just tap it on the water. And kind of goes down the water column, and they go out there and go crazy for it.
And Mike's saying he's got 3 varieties of Shelleys.
Yeah.
So, and one of the recommendations I remember Jeff saying is you want to use aragonite sand.
Yes.
And then you can just buy the snail shells on Amazon or wherever as escargot shells.
Yep.
And you shop because you can find them. They're pretty expensive or they're pretty cheap, depending on. You can find them on eBay too.
I got them on Amazon. They were pretty reasonable.
There you go. What, you buy a jar of like 50 or something like that?
Oh, I got them right here. In fact.
Yeah. How many were in there originally?
48.
Why not?
I think it was like $16. $16 for 48.
Yeah.
Good size shells.
Yeah. Now, did you drill the back of them so to let the air out, or they just eventually sink?
Oh, what you do is you get them underwater and you just kind of manipulate them until all the air bubbles come out, and then they'll sink.
There you go. So, I don't know. Any other suggestions for Ruben, or you got some a couple bridges to jump off of there.
You can go 1,000 different ways with a 20-gallon, depending on what kind of fish you like and what your personality is and all that stuff.
Right. Select saying got rid of most of his shells, going to PVC.
I like using the shells.
It's hard to get them out of the shells. Yeah, all right.
Oh, that's true.
Well, this comes back down to the same thing as always, Jeff. Whatever works for you is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then why am I always exactly an hour late? I think you are closer to an hour and 43 minutes late, Mel. Welcome.
Mel, hello.
White sand. Well, aragonite, I guess, is whitish.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. And there's something about it that helps raise
carrot seed. What I got from, I got it from Petco. I got mine on sale. It was 10 pounds for like $5 in a bag.
Wow, yeah. And what does it do?
It keeps the pH up and steady, and it also keeps enough KH in there. It just keeps the water. They need a hard alkaline water.
All right.
Generally, and pretty much that right there will help most any kind of water type.
So I could just like raise them with no addition of anything in my water.
No, you'd want. I would still use the oregano.
I would, yeah, I would, but still, I'm just saying. So yeah.
I would.
Select shells are prettier. Yeah, I agree. They are attractive. I was going to drop some PVC pipe in with my little plecos, and I don't have any. I ran out. I got 1/2-inch PVC, Schedule 40. It's really tight inside. I don't want anybody getting stuck in there. So I dropped some 3/4-inch couplings in there for now. And where are they? On top of it. Into intelligent fish, prefer fish that can feed. I bet these will. I feel like these would eat like zucchini, green beans, blanched zucchini, blanched vegetables, and these will probably, the Shelleys will probably chew on plants too.
Not so much.
Yeah, all right.
So Not saying they won't completely, but I've kept like Java moss in there. They don't seem to nip on it or nothing.
Okay.
They'll move it around. They'll move it around when they move the sand, but
Yeah, use 90s with caps and pop the caps off to strip the fish. Oh, interesting. So you need a little short piece of pipe to put a cap on a 90 though. Let's use street L's, because then the one end is street 90, the one end is pipe size, so you could just slide a cap right over that. Asking what tap water parameters are like, as we just discussed.
Yeah, that's what I use too, Melvin. Yep.
Yeah. So, and yeah, the nitrates, I know that's one thing we were talking about, Don, was the nitrates with street 90s. Yes, ST, that's what the ST stands for right here, street 90. And what that is, a typical 90, it's fitting by fitting. Piece of pipe can go into either end. But a street 90, piece of pipe can go into one end, but the other end's fitting size. So pipe will just bounce off of it.
And you can still put the cap on there to make it seem like it's really safe for them too.
On a street, you can put a cap over that, the one end.
Mm.
The other end is pipe size. So a cap will absorb a piece of pipe because it's a fitting. And a regular 90, both ends are the same size as the cap. They won't do anything. But if you have a street 90, one end, the cap just bounces off. The other end, the cap will go over because it's pipe size. You want to do a whole landscape irrigation PVC pipe fitting class? I can do that for you. Manchester water, it's like rainwater. Very soft. London water is like liquid rock. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Oh, that'd be perfect for the Shelleys there.
Yeah, got to understand what the starting parameters are before you recommend anything else. That's true. That's true.
Well, the good thing about the Shelleys is if you got the aragonite or crushed coral, you can pretty much make it work for them. I mean, just saying, calcium carbonate, that'll help bring it up. It's kind of easier, to me, they're actually easier than a lot of different fish, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, seriously. Zini, you have missed one.
pH 7 to 7.5. And do you know what are we talking about? Is it the KH and the GH, or I've got so much to learn when it comes to water parameters.
Some point, I definitely use the aragonite for that. Joke about street.
Yeah, well, one's a male fitting, one's a female fitting, and one's a male end, the other's a female end. And with PVC, it's called slip. The female end is slip by slip, S by S, and the other end, the male end, is FTG fitting. Is that right? No,
I think so.
Slip by female by male. That's what am I saying?
So he's got the jewel cichlids from West Africa. It looks like here Zini has.
Oh wait, yeah, and who's out of here?
They're beautiful.
Ruben's out of here, Ruben. Thanks for being here, bud.
Oh yeah, thanks, Ruben.
And good luck with that.
Yes.
I know it's getting later in the UK. What is it? 10 hours? Is that?
UK? No, they're 5 hours. Well, 8 hours for you, 5 hours for me.
Okay, 8 hours. Yeah.
So it's 6, 7, 8, 11, 19 there.
Yep.
For me.
Yeah. After 11 p.m. So. Yeah. 7.2 pH in Shelley's breed. Like mad, no difference with aragonite.
That'll bring the pH up. They like a little higher pH than 7.2. I mean, They can breed in 7.2, but you want to make them really comfortable. I definitely use the aragonite.
This is a total sidebar. The blasting sand. That's from Tractor Supply. I remember there were 2 bags. Don't get one, get the other. What was the other?
Oh, don't get the play sand. That's crap.
No. I use the blasting.
Black diamond blasting sand. Yeah, from Tractor Supply.
Yeah, but there were 2 sizes. Don't get one, get the other.
You don't want to get the fine powdered one. You want to get the heavier. It's the. I still have a bag here of it. I think it's the black label, I believe.
And that's from Tractor Supply, yeah. Yeah, it's the grit size. Yes, and so it's the coarser because the other one's like powders. I remember you guys. And that is the blasting sand. Yeah, Mike, the black stuff from Tractor Supply. So it's either coarse or fine. And I'm guessing it's probably what, like 30 grit instead of 60 grit. Because 60 grit, you know, I used to use the 60 grit silica sand, which is a blasting sand for sand casting these stone lanterns that I used to make. I use pool filter sand. Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, I like the black diamond. I got that in quite a few tanks. But, you know, pretty much with the, to address Mike here, the aragonite's good if you have water that has a low KH. In other words, mine will drop below that. So, you know, I recommend it to keep it at a nice level. I mean, you might have rock hard water and you can put anything in it, but
yeah,
you know, I just use that as because it's a great substrate anyway. It's a good sand,
right?
And I figure, you know, it's not that expensive. So
right.
If you want to do it, just do it the right. You know, that's what I would call the right way because that way it'll keep it really steady.
Right.
But you know, whatever works for you.
Yeah, and in Mike's case, you know, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference for him.
And I'll bet if you just dropped a handful of shells, Michael, on the bottom of a glass tank, they'd probably spawn there for you from the sounds of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I like having the sand there because that's what they love to move that sand around. It's just that's part of the fun of having the shellies anyway.
Sure. Sure. Live coral sand to buffer the freshwater tank. Figure it'll die off and be be ammonia to help start. I guess, yeah. Is that how that works?
Oh, let's see.
That's interesting. Yeah, if that works, yeah.
I've never tried that.
Interesting. Whoops. Chat's moving.
Brant, oh yeah, it's moving fast. Brenton, you have Caridina shrimp? Swiffle's asking. Brent, not sure if I said hi. Is any smart idea interesting? I see so. Yeah, for the bacteria to eat. What we do, I mean, I know Ron does this and I do it too, is I'll take a used sponge filter and I'll squeeze it out really well into a new tank and that'll give you all the food for the bacteria.
Or you can just put a used sponge filter and use that one, you know.
Absolutely. That's what I do basically. I do a good squeeze too.
And then put a fresh sponge filter in an established tank. And also what I will do, I will set a sponge filter, an extra sponge filter just sitting in an aquarium. That's, you know, living and established and everything. And that sponge just absorbs live bacteria and just move that one in when you're ready for another tank setup.
Brandon has orange eye blue tigers. Oh, wow. Nice.
Oh, how cool.
Those are the Caridina shrimp. They got the orange eyes.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
Cool. Really nice.
So Select Sandy thinks that's an expensive way to cycle aquarium. I don't know enough about it. Probably. I defer to or
I just use filter media is what I do. I've always done that.
Yeah.
It's worked for me for a long time.
And I buy these 3-packs of sponge filters, and you probably get them cheap or whatever from Amazon. And let's see, I got to make that smaller. Sponge filter, there they are. Are these the big ones?
I want it to buffer me primarily for cichlids. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that with good sponge filter will do it.
All right. These are the ones I've been buying, you know, for good or ill from Amazon. And just set one up, put it together, and drop it in an aquarium. And they come in 3-packs. And just drop it in an aquarium, not hooked up because you already got one running in there. But just drop one in, and it'll sit. And when I get around to where I set up another tank, I'll just reach in and grab that, and it's ready to go. At least I think it is. Yeah, I use Bacter AE.
Yep,
Well, let me rephrase that. I've used Bacter AE. I've got it. I haven't brought it out for anything in a very long time. But I used it when I was first trying to establish Neocaridina's. No, I haven't.
Oh, I've seen them. The Higer has some of those, and some of the other ones. They have like a little plastic thing underneath the double sponge.
Yeah, I do. I take that back. I've got one of those. It's got the 2 sponge filters, and it comes up and spits out. And it's got the for media at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I do have one of those. Yeah. You know what? I like it, and it's the only one I got. And Higer keeps reaching out to me. They want me to do, what is it called? The reviews, and
You should do that.
I don't want to do that. Just don't want to. I did 2. I won't do that anymore. I don't want any part of that. And they were nice to me.
I don't mind getting the free equipment myself. That's the reason why I just do it.
And I don't mind. I want to do that, set up the affiliate links, but I don't want to do reviews. It's too much work, too much responsibility. I'd rather not.
Hey, Shirley, welcome in. Good to see you.
I'll tell you what I do, and I just said do with the sponge filters. I cut the core out, and I'll drop an air stone down inside them, just the regular sponge filters, and you get a much finer bunch of bubbles coming up instead of the big gloopy gloop, the bigger bubbles. I like that better. So I've been doing that. Shirley's here.
Yep, Shirley's here. CChem, I use the CChem Safe, Don. It's very economical for dechlorinating your water when you do that. In fact, the one container, like I mentioned last night, it's 60,000 gallons that it treats. So it'll last you a long time. I mean, there's a lot of water changes. That's a lot. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of water changes. Even for somebody like Dan or somebody with 500 tanks, that's going to last a while.
Wow, the right soil for these are Caridinas. Yeah, I don't know squat about those. I can't speak to that.
Yeah, there's the soil that's like keeps the pH low because they need a low pH.
The fluval stratum or something like that.
Stuff like that. Amazonia used to make some Amazonia gold. I guess it's supposed to be like they don't make it anymore, and it's like the holy grail of Caridina sheep oils. It's like gold. I mean, it is gold to them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the Bacter. At least I don't think. You know what? My first batch of Neocaridinas did not survive. That could have been why. But that goes back 2.5 years now. So
what I do is I took just like a quarter of their. I mean, they say to use the whole little spoon. I just take a little smidge and I use that, and it goes a long way. You want to do very, very light. It's also good for clucker babies. They get a lot of biofilm from that.
Right.
And I've had a lot of success with that too.
Wait, did I already do? It looks like one the ones you had on the screen. Yeah, okay, but no, I've not seen those. Yeah, interesting.
I'd like to try Bacter AE. Just use very little bit of it though, Mel. Don't do the recommended what they say because it is too much. You want to do
the CChem Flourish Potassium. I was using that. That's the only CChem I've got. Whether it does the trick or not, I couldn't tell you. When I used to teach, I mean, there's fertilizers. I think fertilizer is probably one of the biggest gimmicks there are.
And not every time you're
home center or nursery, there are walls of fertilizer, shelves and shelves and shelves, and they're all this is for this, and you read the labels, and so many of them are so close. There's a couple plants that do benefit from something special, but mostly it's NPK and some trace, and that's just my 2 cents on that. So
I've been here since the beginning. Yeah, she's been here for a while.
AQQA makes one of the sponge media plus,
And Cecil's been here with us a long time too. Yep.
I use I'll also throw in. I've got the API, and what's it called? The Quick Start. I'll throw that in too. It's cheap insurance. I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
But you got to have fish going in when you do that.
Yeah, I got the Quick Start too.
Yeah.
Also, that Fritzzyme 7 works nice too. That's about the same price.
Okay. But once again, I'm using API only because when I first started this venture back up, I was watching MD Fish Tanks. That's what he used.
Yep.
So that's what if I'd have watched somebody else, I don't know, Fritz Aquatics or whatever, and they use Seachem, I probably would have been using that.
I've used both. I mean, it's whatever's cheapest, I'll buy it.
Right.
You know, I'll use it.
Right.
I don't use the same thing. Well, the safe, it's buy once and then you're pretty much done.
Right.
For me, so I'm just kind of that saved me. I was buying the API stress coat, which also dechlorinates the water.
Right.
It's like $12 a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'd go through a bottle of that every 3 months, probably doing all the water changes. Okay, so we're talking, and I got the one jar of the safe for $10.
Right.
I've had it for 3 years now, and it's not even half empty.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know, it's just.
I feel like dropping rusty bolts or nuts would be a little safer than the rusty razor blade.
Rusty razor blade? What happened?
Yeah. It's like saying that they, cleaned out a used tank in the gravel, found a rusty razor blade. That's nice. Yeah. As the previous owner said, it was an iron additive. All right.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know about what's this about. What feels less like a wasp nest now. Yeah. All right.
Cheapest $12 MI.
What is
$2 cheaper? Oh yeah, I think she's talking about the Seachem safe 10. Well, it was $10. It might be more now. It's like I said, it's been 3 years.
everything. Oh my God, Kathy showed me 2 invoices from Epson, because we have Epson printers and we buy ink directly from Epson. And I don't remember how old they were. One is today or in the last couple of days. She just got an order in, $140 for the ink she ordered, and the last time she ordered the same ink, $108.
Oh wow, that is a lot. Yeah, ever since the big C hit, and stuff.
Yeah, when the world ended, you mean?
Yeah, when the world ended. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to start back up. Pretty much. Yeah, it really messed this. That messed this whole planet up. It messed the whole.
Oh man.
I wonder what it would have been like if it never happened. I mean,
I don't know.
It'd be a hell of a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
But can't change that. Can't change the past.
No. Hopefully we can grow from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, kids, we've been here 2 hours. What do you say we pull the plug on this one and come back next Tuesday?
Yep, that's completely up to you, Ron. You're in charge of this. I'll stay as long as you want me to.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But I'm just same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right.
Wait, who's your favorite Batman?
My favorite Batman?
Anybody in the chat? Who's your favorite Batman?
I think it's the most recent one. What's his name? Ben Affleck.
Okay.
He does pretty good.
Was he the Dark Knight? Yeah. Thank you, Mel.
No, he wasn't the Dark Knight. That was wasn't that Christian Bale?
What? Oh, maybe it was. Yeah.
I think it was Christian Bale.
He was good. Yep. Ben Affleck, huh? 1972. All right. Wow. Yeah. And then Michael Keaton was one. And who else? There were a couple from that way back.
George Clooney, Val Kilmer.
Right. Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, Date of Birth. Got it. Thanks, Daisy. Yeah.
There's quite a few.
Yeah. Will Arnett. Best Batman ever.
Who?
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. Really?
Anybody? Nobody? Wow. Lego Batman.
What's the original guy's name? Adam West.
Adam West, yeah. No, Will Arnett is the Lego Batman. Michael Keaton, yeah, that's right, yeah. The Lego Batman, that just the funniest and just, I love that Lego Batman. Black. All good movies start in black. You got to watch them. If you haven't, you got to watch them. Anyway, so let's get out of here. Thank you all for being here. 2 mice.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, 3 mice. I'll raise you 5 mice and a rat. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. Love y'all. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. Yep. Cheers.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.